Hi, today we are discuss about That Long Silence. This is a novel and written by Shashi Deshpandey. Firstly, I am going to tell you about the Shashi Deshpandey, Indian novelist. She is a receptionist of Sahitya Academy Award. She published her first collection of short story in 1978 and her first novel The Dark Holds No Terror in 1980. She won the Sahitya Academy Award for the novel That Long Silence in 1990 and the Padma Shri Award in 2009. Her novel Shadow Play was shortlisted for the Hindu Literary Prize in 2014. Deshpande has written four children book, a number of short story and nine novels. Okay. Shashi Deshpande is a famous Indian novelist who has won many awards for her magnificent writing. She is one of the most notable author in Indian writing in English. Her famous novels are: first is The Dark Holds No Terror, second is If I Die Today, third is That Long Silence, fourth is Root and Shadow, and fifth is Come and Be Death, and sixth is The Blinding of Time, and seventh is A Matter of Time. Her novel Roots and Shadow her own a prize for the best Indian novel of 1983. She is the receptionist of Sahitya Academy Award in Padma Shri 2009 for the novel That Long Silence. Her, her leading no, her leading ladies are married women and they are the true reflection of Indian women. Seeing for identity and self liberation have become the most important theme of the contemporary novel. Shashi Deshpande looks sharply into the problem of married women. The novel signifies the necessity to speak and to establish individuality. Jaya, in her 70 years of married life, her has tried to play the role of traditional Indian woman and the of patience, but in the end she become more self-assertive woman. Mohan is at fault for hurting Jaya of her existence for being indulged in wrong practices, but Jaya realized that silence was the root cause of her suffering. इस पूरे नॉवल में दो कैरेक्टर हैं, जया एंड मोहन. उन दोनों के अराउंड ही पूरी नॉवल मूव करती है और उसमें जया की इंडिविजुअलिटी, उसके मैरिड लाइफ, मोहन के साथ उसका रिलेशन, ये सब बताया गया है. उसमें कुछ थीम हैं जो कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा, और इस पोएम में इस नॉवल में कुछ कीवर्ड्स भी हैं जो हमें जानना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. आई विल मेंशन इन दिस वीडियो. The novel is a story of a protagonist, Jaya, a middle-class housewife. Though she is an educated woman, but not free from patriarchal domination, she becomes silent to save her marriage. ये जो नॉवल है, नॉवल की स्टोरी की जो लीड एक्टर है, जो प्रोटागोनिस्ट है, वो है जया. वो एक मिडिल क्लास की हाउसवाइफ है, वो एजुकेटेड भी है बट वो साइलेंट है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके पास पैट्रियार्कल डोमिनेशन की वजह से वो चुप है अपनी मैरिज को सेव करने के लिए. इफ़ यू थिंक व्हाट इज़ अ patriarchal use about a society or system controlled by a man rather than women, passing power, property, etc. Okay. As a Hindu tradition says that wife should be like Sita, who was submissive to her husband. हिंदू ट्रेडिशन के अकॉर्डिंग जो वाइफ होती है वो सीता की तरह होनी चाहिए, है ना, उसकी तरह सबमिशंस अपने हस्बैंड्स के लिए. ओके, दैट इंडियन सोसाइटी कास्ट वुमेन एज declined, silent and submissions. Jaya is the wife of Mohan. He is materialistic and a male capitalistic. Mohan is typical of workaholic man. His career is more important thing than the family. जो मोहन जया क्या है, मोहन की वाइफ है, और मोहन कैसा है, वो वर्कोहॉलिक है एंड उसकी फैमिली से इम्पोर्टेंट उसका वर्क है. तो इफ़ यू थिंक कि वो कैसा मैन है, आई didn't agree with this. His ambitions found of luxury and positions in society, cars for money and material objects. Mohan want to consider himself as a sale runner and head of the family. वो ambitious है, वो luxury and positions को luxuriness and positions को gain करना चाहते हैं सोसाइटी में, और वो अपने आप को कंसीडर कैसे करता है कि सेल्फ रनर एंड हेड ऑफ द फैमिली, वो जो फैमिली का हेड है. ही डज नॉट केयर अबाउट जयाज फीलिंग एंड टेक केयर ऑफ ग्रांटेड हिज इम्पेस्ड हिज थॉट्स ऑन जया एंड force us not to write something which would affected their relationship. He chooses Jaya not because of her beauty but her excellence. Come on English. वो क्या करता है, he does not वो जया के बारे में केयर भी नहीं करता, उसकी फीलिंग के बारे में नहीं, उसको ग्रांटेड लेता है, उसके थॉट्स को, उसकी राइटिंग स्किल को. जया हैज़ अ राइटिंग स्किल्स. वो उसको लगता है कि उसके रिलेशनशिप को क्या करेगा, इफेक्ट करेगा. After marriage, he never allow her to be herself and do what she wanted despite having many comforts. Jaya feels impulsiveness in her life because she has sacrificed every trend of her individuality after marriage. उसने अपनी जया जो है अपनी इंडिविजुअलिटी को सैक्रिफाइस करी हमेशा, हर जगह लाइफ की, मतलब हमेशा लड़कियों को ही सेक्रीफाइस करना पड़ता है इन मैरिज, आई थिंक. सो द नॉवल फोकस ऑन द इनर टर्मिनल ऑफ जया आफ्टर 17 years of her material life, she finds her marriage a two bullock yoke together. Her frustration is shown here when she says, ever since I got married, I had done nothing but waiting for Mohan to come home, waiting for the children to be born for them to start school, waiting for them to come home, waiting for the milk, the servant in the lunch, career man. क्या कहती वो कि अच्छा होता कि अगर मैं कभी मैरिड नहीं करती. I had done nothing but वेटिंग फॉर मोहन. वो वेट करती मोहन के लिए, अपने बच्चों के लिए, वो स्कूल कब जाए, स्कूल से वापस कब आए, और करियर जो मैन है उसके लिए वेट करती है एज अ सर्वेंट, लंच बॉक्स की तरह. वो उसका कहने का मतलब ये. शी गोज इन टू डीप introspections of her life, conflict with her husband, suffocation in their 70-year-old marriage, dissatisfactions in her children Rahul and Rati. In her state of dissolution, Jaya decided to write down her story. In this process, Jaya explore her self-existence. Beginning of the silence from her childhood completely according to the desire of her family members. Lata Mangeshkar's voice fascinated her, but since her father was a huge fan of Paliskar's and Fair Khan, the full music was banned in her home and her father taunted on her voice. What poor taste you have. Jaya, that comment made her feel ashamed of her own likes, and that was the beginning of her silence. Separation of individuality and marital conflict. At the time of Jaya's wedding, Mohan, her husband, had changed her name from Jaya to Suhashini. She did an object just to keep him happy. The name Suhashini means a soft, smiling, played motherly woman. Her new name indicates that now she is going to be a typical cultural and devoted housewife. Whereas her old name Jaya means victory, is symbolized courageous and independent and girls conflict. जब जया की शादी हो रही थी मोहन से, दैट टाइम मोहन ने क्या किया, उसके नाम को चेंज करके जया से सुहासिनी रख दिया, और उसने उस टाइम तो कुछ भी नहीं बोला उसको हैप्पी रखने के लिए, बट इन द इनर साइड ही वॉज वेरी just like, but inside is very disagree with this. Home, sorry, name is the identity of every woman being. No one has a right to tell that I don't like your name and I will call you by other name. But just after her marriage, she lose her identity. She has changed her personality and lifestyle to please Mohan. She has cut her hair very short and follows new fashion in dressing. Jaya wrote some story and won first prize. These story also get published in magazines. She is getting recognized as a writer when Mohan Jaya husband express his worth on her name. She wrote a story about a man who cannot connect to his wife expect through her body. Mohan think that a particular man in the story is himself. He says all those people read this and know us. They will know that I am this kind of man. After this, she is quite writing sacrificed her talent to motivate their shallow relationship. Jaya has learned to control her anger as Mohan thought that anger made a woman unwomanly. Mohan had squandered her literary career. He had never appreciated her Jaya's talent in the talents is being crushed, and this leads her a relevance. Jaya is an educated woman with good writing skill, but none of her excellence gave her a reputation played in the place in the eyes of Mohan. She has suffered silent and because of her family and traditions value. She said, "Yes, I have been scared of breaking through that his never vengeance of happy family." Mohan's father was a drunkard and aggressive man having patriarchal views. Differentiations. Jaya had learned in her childhood that husband is like a sheltering tree, a shadow, a security. She transformed herself into the traditional role of mothers and wife. She completes her responsibilities with full of dedication, such as a washing dishes, cooking, and caring them without any complaint. Because in our society is taught that all these are duties of a wife, not a husband. Jaya's mother's always been particle of her sons. Male primarily is also seen when Jaya's grand uncle Ramu Kaka portrays a family tree that mentions all the boys of the family. Sridhar, Janu, Drinker, Ravi, but Jaya was missing. She noticed that she is not present in a family. She questions about it, and Kaka says that you don't belong this family. You have to no place here. She gets hurt over much gender differentiations because Jaya was married. She has no place in her parental home. Rejection of mythical women and self recognition. Mohan is found indulged in some corrupt practice in his office and they shift into their small flat in Dadar. Jaya is not willing to go into hiding with her husband. Unlike Sita, she fails to support Mohan into exile. That at that time Rahul and Rita were away of long tour with their family friend. One day Mohan accused Jaya from his failure and for not being supportive in the crisis. She says, "Do you think I have not seen how changed you are since we come here since we came here since I told you about my situation?" After this, Jaya begins to laugh and hysterical. That shows her frustrations. Mohan gets furious and loves home. Jaya is left all alone in their Dadar flat. She is terribly depressed is the absence of Mohan and realize that for so many years she lives like a doll with him. She has done everything, even leaves her waiting. She had done everything, even leaves her writing career too, to keep her married life peaceful. After some days she gets a telegram from Mohan that all is well. Now she is beginning to question herself and find that she is responsible for her suffering, not Mohan. In the process of her self-recognition, Jaya decides to convey herself through her writing. She chooses the part of matriarchal from unpissed who feel communicate with herself with her husband. She recalls the words of her Krishna, do you do as desires. Jaya's state of dissolutions pray beneficial for her, and she emerged as an individual. Jaya says, I am not afraid anymore, the panic has gone. She decided to speak and to do what she desired. The novel ends with the reunion of family. Conclusion. Shashi Deshpande looks sharply into the problem of married women. The novel signifies the necessity to speak and establish individuality. Communication and mutual understanding is necessary for healthy relationships. Silence can puncture the relationship, at least to depress and dissolutions. Jaya, an autobiography, that long silence end with the positive note, but we can always hope. Without that, life would be impossible. This is all about That Long Silence by Shashi Deshpande. I hope you will be get it very clear. If you're not, please comment on below this video, and thanks for watching this video. Thank you.